The following is a presentation of the St. Louis Chess Club.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the World Chess Hall of Fame, where we will be competing with ultimate moves. I am Grandmaster Maurice Ashley, happy to be your host for this amazing event. We do it every year. It's a lot of fun here at the World Chess Hall of Fame. The great thing about this event is not only do the players play as a team, which you don't see that often in an individual game, but they also get to trash talk, one of my favorite things to do growing up in Brooklyn, and we get to see the players bring out some of their personalities. Some of them you'll be surprised at their skills. We're going to start with the introduction of the teams. And first of all, Team Rex. We have Sam Shankland, Levon Aronian, Leinier Dominguez, Fabiano Caruana, coming off his second back-to-back victory here, now a four-time U.S. champion. Former world champion, the great legend, Garry Kasparov. And of course, Rex Sinquefield as team captain. Rex, how do you feel about the squad they've got lined up for you today?
They're incredible. I don't know why the other team even shows up. I really don't. They shouldn't be here. They don't have a chance.
Indeed, the trash talking has begun. Well, now for the opposing team, we have Grandmaster Grigoriy Oparin. They're all Grandmasters, so I won't even have to say that. Sam Sevian, Robson, Wesley Hikaru Nakamura. And the captain, Mr. Monopoly? Okay, we got Mr. Monopoly in the house. What's going on over here? Oh my goodness. Okay, I played Monopoly as a kid. I know Halloween is coming up. I'm a little bit freaked out by this. Mr. Monopoly, do you think you're going to win today?
Yes, he does.
All right. Well, come on in. I don't know. The water's fine. It's a bit wild. Tony, Rich, of course, of the chess club. Tony, what the heck is going on? Usually it's like Randy or somebody in that seat. What's happening now?
So St. Louis has been honored by Hasbro Corporation. We now have our very own Monopoly board. So all the squares on the board are St. Louis themed, from the Art Museum to Tower Grove Park. And in fact, the World Chess Hall of Fame has their very own property on Monopoly. So Mr. Monopoly has joined us today to help kick things off and to honor St. Louis with the game.
Incredible. Who knew that Mr. Monopoly knew how to play chess? Rex, what are you scared of this guy?
What? Have you seen him?
All right, well, this is going to be something. Let's just get the rules. Again, it's 2 teams of 5 plus the team captains. It's a 10-game match. Of course, 5.5 will win the match. And the players will swap every 5 moves. So Rex will play 5, Mr. Monopoly will play 5, and then the rest of the GMs will come through. So that will be the rules of the match. This is something I've never seen before. I'm sure nobody's seen before. We're going to get this started. Rex, your move, you're starting the clocks, and here we go. And Mr. Monopoly has played Knight of 3. He at least knows how to move the pieces. He's got the rules down. And Fianchettoing look like they're pretty cool first few moves. Castles has been done, and hey, it's been great so far. Mr. Monopoly's up out of there. I haven't seen any blunders by either side. And we've got a great position. And here comes Hikaru Nakamura and Garry Kasparov in the lineup two of the greatest players of all time, of course. Fabi, are you surprised by seeing Mr. Monopoly playing on the other side?
Very surprised, but I knew their first move in advance. I had done some spy work, and I had heard about their first move, so we're ready. We're ready for it.
All right, Levon, this is a joke, right? You can't lose to Mr. Monopoly. That would be embarrassing.
Well, I've lost to much worse players, so. But we will do our best.
All right, well, now we see Wesley So coming in as Kasparov is thinking about his next move. And these players are serious. This is no joke. This is not a game show. They really want to win. And Fabi cruises in with cup in hand, and the moves are flying fast and furious in this position. Quite a nice game so far. We've got to get some. We got to get some comments from the other squad. Hikaru, you're on Mr. Monopoly's team. How are you feeling about that?
Oh, I feel fine about that. I mean, hopefully Mr. Monopoly can play some good moves and then let the professionals take over.
So far, he's done quite well, though, with that opening.
Yeah, I mean, this looks like some nonsense that I think I played against Gingy or against Rustamov online like 20 years ago, so I feel good with our position.
All right, well, moves have been played. Now here comes Ray Robson and Leinier Dominguez. And I got to get some more comments in here. Wesley, I heard you say, what did I do just a second ago? What are you feeling bad about so far?
Well, I thought we were doing much better, but now they seem to be surviving. So it's okay. It's only opening.
I saw you earlier trying to play Monopoly. You've never played Monopoly in your life before?
No, I played before, just never finished the game because it takes hours. It takes hours, yeah?
You're a chess player. I mean, it takes hours. Chess takes hours, too.
But during the break, Hikaru gave me some advice. He told me all the secrets about winning. So I think I'm leading. Like, if Fabiano wants to finish it later, I think I have a good chance of winning the game, thanks to Hikaru.
Okay, a little trash talking on the Monopoly board already. All right, well, the game is definitely intense right now. We see, obviously, great position, classical position. I'd like to get some comments from other players. Sam, you're playing against Mr. Monopoly. I know you've never done this before in your life. How are you feeling?
I'm good. He's just going to land in jail and not roll doubles for a long time. He's just screwed. I mean, we're going to win.
All right. A lot of confidence on their side, and they're taking the games very seriously. This is not just some kind of exhibition. They want to win. Let's see if we can get somebody else. Grigoriy, I'm sure you've never seen anything like this in your life. How does it feel to be a part of this now?
It's amazing. I mean, I've been following all the previous years, but it's nice to be part of this year. So
you're also part of a very interesting team as well, never before seen. How do you feel about being part of this Mr. Monopoly team?
Well, I think we are stronger than them, so we're going to win.
All right, a lot of confidence being shown so far, and the position is just absolutely intriguing. Behind on the clock a little bit is Rex's team, as we see here, Leinier and Ray. These two are known to spend some time on the clock in their classical games and have to speed up a little bit in the blitz. But so far, so good. No problems now. Let's get an opinion from Garry. I see, Garry, you're shaking your head. You're not too happy right now.
Yeah, I think we're under severe pressure. I'm not sure if 5-9 G8 they were not. Anyway, we'll see. So it's tough, but
Bishop D5, Bishop B5, Knight F6 was totally fine. Yeah? I think that we're doing fine here. B7 there? Okay. Yeah, maybe that's bad. Then. No, Queen F7 is probably a good move. I guess.
still we're under. Yeah, maybe now Knight before D5 we're okay. Yeah. Yes, this is now. If we can kick, so and sacrificing the piece is not. What do you think about?
C6? No, we'll take it. We'll take the piece.
Because pawn on C7, B6, protected pawn, but it's probably not.
All right, we see some analysis being done, and Levon looking over. It's Levon and now for Team Rex, while Sam Sevian, who's going to be defending his title in Chess 9LX, starting tomorrow. Make sure you come for that. And we see what is indeed a piece sacrifice for an advanced passer on C7. The game has definitely gotten super complicated, and Sam Sevian just blitzing out his move. There's a protected passer on the C7 square. Is this enough? Sam looking very confident in this line. It's gotten very sharp indeed. Let's get somebody else. Ray, piece sack in the game, and very exciting position. How are you feeling about your chances here?
Oh, I'm feeling pretty good. I mean, these pawns are super strong, so in the long run, they just I mean, they make one blunder and it's over.
All right, well, an exciting position, folks. As we see here, that pawn on c7 is going to definitely be a bone in the throat of the position, and black will have to defend, but how to break through with the white pieces will be a question. And I'm not sure who else I haven't gotten a chance to talk to as yet. Leinier, how are you feeling right now about your chances? You're with Team Rex.
I think our chances are looking good. I mean, it depends. I think I'm trying to think what will happen when Mr. Monopoly comes to the position and tries to prove the compensation, you know?
Very good point, indeed. As Oparin sits down and joining him is Sam Shankland for Team Rex. Levon, you've played Monopoly before.
Yes.
Of all these players here, who's the most likely to go to jail and not pass go?
I think Fabi. I mean, he's not going to pay his taxes, and he's going to go to jail.
Indeed. So, but Fabi is still intent on this position. It does look very exciting, though. This sack was done against you while you were sitting at the table.
Yeah.
Did you like the sacrifice for white? Or do you think that black's just fine?
I think white has to try to make a draw. I mean, that's maximum they can do. So, I like our position.
All right. So far, very confident. Right now, we see a trade of queens entering that end game. Black still has the piece and a fantastic knight on e4 at the moment. Both sides, for some reason, extremely confident in their chances. But at knight e4, how are you feeling now?
Better a few moves ago. I think it was probably equal after queen e6, queen c4. But now we'll make it work.
All right, some challenges, as Sam Shankland has said, he screwed it up, and it looks as though a white knight is headed to a very strong square on d6, and it's landed on that square. And here comes Mr. Monopoly and Rex, and we'll see what happens now as a critical position is on the board and decisions have to be made. Mr. Monopoly deep in thought and has captured the rook on c8. Rex has recaptured. And it seems that no one is talking right now. Everybody is very concerned about the next few moves because this could be critical before the grandmasters sit back down. Big time decisions need to be made here. Rex has retreated his bishop. King H1 has been played by Mr. Monopoly. Just a couple more moves for both sides. And now bishop to c5 by Rex. Hunting down the pawn on b6. And this position looks very powerful indeed for black. The times are even at 130 each. And a big problem to solve here. And the pawn on b6 has been captured. And there's cheering for Rex Sinquefield because he has taken one pawn off the board, and it looks like the second pawn is likely to drop as well. So problems solved, it looks like, for the black pieces as Mr. Monopoly has now played d4, looking to open up lines, and it is time now for Mr. Monopoly to go. The second pawn captured, and in comes Nakamura and Kasparov, both with a smile on his face is Garry. He's looking very much relieved by what has transpired here. Fabi, you said there was some trouble for you, but it looks like Rex has resolved all of it.
Once Rex came on the board, everything was good.
Rex in...
Last few moves were, like, we couldn't have hoped for better.
Rex, I hope you heard that, Rex. That you did the job. The team is very confident in your chances now. And it is up to white to try to figure out what to do next, as it's two pieces against a rook. And here comes the black king, and white definitely has to defend this position, a difficult position indeed. Let's get Team Mr. Monopoly. How are you feeling about your chances now, Wesley?
Very good. I don't see how black can ever win this position. So we're good. Solid first game. Yeah, if we make a quick solid draw, we're good. Oh, also by the way, that the St. Louis Monopoly is available downstairs on the boutique shop. So we're good to go. Yeah.
Good pitch. I think you're up next, Wesley. As Garry's trying to figure out exactly how to turn the screws here, bringing the king over, and Fabi still nursing that what looks like the Hall of Fame cup in his hand. Good product placement for the team. 32 seconds, though, only for the white pieces. And here comes Fabi chasing the rook and very quick blitzing out the moves. Remember, it is 5+2, so they do get a 2-second increment. But is this winnable is going to be the major question here. Is this winnable, as Fabi has avoided a trade of pawns? And now it is up to Ray and Leinier. The time is ticking down, only 20 seconds on the clock. And there's a bit of a challenge of that rook on g5, where and how it will come into the game. And now it is moved to e5, and there goes the h-pawn. Again, the clock is ticking down, 13 seconds only for white on the clock, 44 seconds for black, and white has now taken the pawn on g6. This position is definitely dangerous, no question about it. You're looking at this now, and there's passed pawns on the board, and Leinier is trying to figure out what to do with the black pieces, as this is certainly a challenge. G5 on the board, and suddenly it's anybody's game. This is a 3-result position, no question about it. So now it's really going to come down to also the clock. There goes that pawn darting down the board on b4, rook c6 check. 12 seconds for white, 22 seconds for black. This is deadly serious moment in the game. Any mistake could cost the game. And there goes the g-pawn, but quickly corralled by the move bishop to e5. And just a couple more moves. Only 5 seconds on the clock for white, and having to deal with this pawn and a sacrifice on e5. 3 seconds only, 2 seconds, 1 second. He played that last move with 1 second. A pawn is queened with check, and black is in business here with 17 seconds left. It is highly likely that black is going to win this game, and white has to resign. Great result for Team Rex, indeed, and Rex was the one who was the star of that round. Rex, how do you feel? You were the one who cleaned up those pawns, and Fabi gave you all the credit in that game.
Well, he's a generous fellow, you know. If he'd been there, he'd have cleaned up everything. Everything.
You're playing with 5 GMs, though, and you did the job.
Well, you know, I had to rise to their standards. They lifted me up.
Lifted up indeed. Well, we're going to get ready for game 2. Team Rex right now leads 1-0. We're going to reset the clock, so we're going to start pretty much right away. We're going to jump right into the action. Remember, the lead now is with Team Rex 1-0. Mr. Monopoly coming back in, this time with the black pieces. And let's get a reaction. Garry, you guys won that game, but it was a little close there for a while.
We should be grateful, Mr. Monopoly, because yes, because I wouldn't bet on our position. But then, actually, Rex segment was the most effective one. So in terms of the position, change of the position, so I think it's from probably, I don't know, -3, we went to +2.
All right, there you go. Rex again being lauded as the savior of that round, and Mr. Monopoly is going to have to bring his A game. We'll see what happens in the next round as they are about to begin.
It's funny, I was mad at myself for screwing up right before, but then it occurred to me it's actually not relevant how well I played. It's relevant how easy a position I give for when Rex and Mr. Monopoly come. And I think that White's position was hard to play. It was probably just winning, but it was very hard to play. And for Rex, it was easy. Put pieces on squares that attack pawns, take pawns, and then we win. So maybe I didn't play as bad as I thought.
But we really needed that bishop f8 move. That was very important. Without that, I think we would have lost. After bishop f8, then like Rex found the right idea, and then they had to find d4. Otherwise, and that was a key moment. Yeah.
All right, indeed, Rex did come up with the goods in that game, and we are starting game 2, and we see a Sicilian and a very intriguing Sicilian appearing on the board, and Rex playing with authority with his moves, and knight d4. Clearly, Mr. Monopoly knows a thing or two, and he has snapped off the bishop on b5. All right, a very exciting position in d5, instantly played by Ray, and Fabi wondering, did he already study this? It looks like Ray very much knows this line and is smiling and playing blitz quite quickly in the line. Every single move, instant preparation is clear by Ray Robson here in this game. And Fabi just smirking. You have one more move, Fabi, and 95 on the board. It looks like some preparation there, some advanced preparation, Fabi.
Ray knows everything. I've never seen this before, like not even close. But I think we're doing all right. I like our position. I trust Leinier to find the right moves now.
All right, well, that definitely was some amazing blitz. Ray, I've got to hear from you. You blitzed out those moves in just seconds. Advanced preparation?
Well, I remember this was like old theory from a long time ago. I'm not sure if c4 is a move, but I thought, okay, I'll just play fast and be confident, and like the position's still going to be playable anyway. So.
All right, that's what you got to do in chess. Be confident, fake it till you make it. And we definitely have an intriguing position on the board at the moment. You see the players are consulting with each other about possible plans. Of course, all that will change as they play. A piece getting knocked over there. We see Chris Bird, arbiter, coming in to check on what just happened there. And now queen c7 attacking the knight on c4. And looks like a dynamic enough position. Let's get a couple of comments yet again. Levon, how are you feeling about your position with white?
I think we're slightly worse, but we have a lot of talent, so we compensate for it.
Talent works better. Talent and luck sometimes is better than actually a good position, huh?
Absolutely.
All right.
I'm one of the evidences of that.
Indeed, we see a pawn getting captured now on c3 or b1 in a very dynamic position as Levon comes in against Grigoriy Oparin. Levon always dressed to impress with the fancy shirts, and he is now going into a deep think about what to do next. This is indeed a sharp position. You know, I'd be remiss if I didn't include my buddy Yasser Sirwan. Yasser, you're here hanging out on an off day.
Yeah.
How you feeling watching this?
Yeah, morose. We were just talking Mizzou Tigers football.
You gotta focus, man. You gotta focus.
Look, we're in recovery mode over here.
My Yankees are down 0-2, so I don't even want to talk about you guys. So we're going to be doing commentary again for the first time in 3 years together.
No,
I know. I forgot what. Oh, yeah, we did commentary. I'm talking about here. I'm talking about here, not in Dusseldorf, of course we did. But here. So it's going to be a lot of fun with Chess 9LX. We do this. So let's get a little warm-up. What have you thought about this match so far, what you've seen?
I really like that Rex just took Mr. Monopoly's 2 pawns a moment ago. He looked pretty good over there. I was impressed. The grandmasters did the technique, you know. But at one moment, I thought it was double-edged. It could have gone either way, so I was a little worried. But everything, the ship got righted.
Are you a Monopoly player? Have you played Monopoly?
Oh gosh, yes. Wars. The family had to stop. Too competitive.
I know the feeling. I know the feeling well. My family's the same as far as competitiveness. Tell me, the fact that there's a chess-themed, St. Louis-themed Monopoly board, the World Chess Hall of Fame, isn't that incredible?
I didn't know. This is amazing. I need one.
We all need one.
Absolutely, for sure.
Yeah, I'm getting mine too, without any question. Now, back to the game. What do you think about the chances here for both sides? Double-edged, one side better or not?
Yeah, I kind of like black. The knight on e5 is compensation, but the 2 bishops looks like an advantage for me.
All right. Well, thank you, Yaz. I look forward to tomorrow with with Chess 9 LX. We're going to have a lot of fun along with Ozzy Paikidze as Sam Shankland sits down. And there's everywhere you look, there are GMs here. It's just incredible. For me, I haven't been here in a while, and now I'm in the vibe again, and it's just a lot of fun to watch these top players duking it out and being able to do commentary with my dear friend Yasser Sirwan once again. Well, here, although the position is sharp, they've been talking about the advantage on the board for black with the two bishops, but also there's advantage on the clock. It's a huge lead right now as Nakamura ponders his move. 3:52 on the clock for black, while white is only 2:10. But a very serious moment, and bishop to f6, a calm move, defending the pawn on e7, played right now. And Sam Shankland has to come up with a plan fairly quickly because the clock is now under 2 minutes. And g4, a massive push. That is a hugely committal move. And Levon, you're feeling good about that move.
I'm feeling very good anytime I see g4.
Even if it looks a little suspicious?
I don't care, you know. It's for them to... They're going to be under the pressure, you know. I got to figure out what's happening.
It's just a good positional decision here.
All right, see, that's why they're super GMs and I'm doing the commentary, because they like g4, a very aggressive move, which he calls just a calm, good positional decision. There's Fabiano Caruana, but obviously there's risk involved. And now Sam going into a deep think about the next moves. And I played f5, and this has gotten super aggressive as Nakamura now pondering this last move. He looked a little bit surprised by it. I'm not going to try to get any commentary from the players here, because this is obviously a super critical moment in the game. Let's study this moment as Nakamura is trying to understand this very aggressive decision, the move f5. The player is now whispering and completely ignoring the threat to the bishop. Well, not quite. Not quite. Their tactics now just bubbling in this position, and this is one of those that the players could analyze for quite some time as they try to figure out what the best decision is. But Sam does not have a lot of time. He has only 1:20 on the clock, and the time is ticking down against 3 minutes in this frothy position. I mean, wild tactical moment. This is truly a moment in the game. May I ask you, Chris, who's up next?
It's Wesley and Garry.
Okay, so we've got monsters to come next as well. So big decisions before they hand the ball off. And Sam Shankland down to only 54 seconds. And I think he's got a couple more moves to make. Is this his last move or 2 more moves with only 45 seconds? This clock is going to be a major issue. And he's played queen back to e1, walking out of the pin on the D line, because bishop takes knight was an issue. And now Nakamura again wondering what to do next. And he's taken the pawn on d4. And Sam is now gone. 45 seconds left. And it is Kasparov's turn to sit down as Nakamura is thinking about what to do. And he's taken the knight. And this position looks like it has collapsed for white from what I can tell. Garry shaking his head, not happy at all with this position. Garry looking for something to do in what is just a mess. Fabi, that g4 move, Levon, it looks like it didn't work out.
Yeah, I think f5 was maybe too much. g5 was the way
I
to
think
go.
after maybe f6 instead of queen e1 was okay. Bishop e5, rook d3. It was probably still holding.
Garry has to resign, and the detritus of that is their position. Unfortunately, yeah, the position collapsed. Sam, you made a great g4 move, but it looks like something went wrong there.
I don't even know if it was great. I just think the position sucked, and I tried to confuse things.
The players seem to be happy with your choice, though.
Sorry? Okay, yeah, Garry doesn't like
No, you are not worse. Queen takes 3. We are not worse. We change queens and what? And pawn on e7 is hanging.
Okay, but A2 is hanging as well. He's got an
Okay, e7, rook goes on c7. I mean, rook c7. Okay, fine. equal number of pawns. We have active pieces. So
aggressive was better.
All right, okay, challenge for Team Rex there. Sam is regretting a couple of his moves. The score is now tied. 1-1, Team Rex, Team Mr. Monopoly. Team Mr. Monopoly, before you go, how you feel? You feeling good about your chances now? All right, thumbs up for Team Mr. Monopoly as they won that one. It just shows how difficult it is to play in this kind of competition. It is 1-1. Remember, it's first to 5.5, a 10-game match, but whoever gets to 5.5 first wins. So we're now at 1-1. A long way still to go and more blunders to be made for sure. So let us now see as they're about to start. Mr. Monopoly is playing with his mustache over here. And the clocks have started. The clocks have now started. And D4, this time C4, different opening, but still Rex going for the King's Indian setup. And now with E3, a bit of a more passive choice. Knight F3 and 4 moves played. Rex just going autopilot on the King's Indian, and now Bishop to D3, and that's it. 5 moves played. Mr. Monopoly gets up and Rex gets up. And a new order now is Oparin and Leinier Dominguez come to sit down. And there's got to be a comeback. Levon, you're up next. Let me see, I'm missing some. Let's get Garry in here. Garry, that last match, I know that last game left a sour taste in your mouth. You guys had such good chances, but you got to let it go. You got to let it go as you've lost big games yourself. How do you come back in this match?
Look, it's very difficult to be responsible for the moves of other players, and also knowing that you could be the cause of disaster. So I think it's Sam just he was over optimistic, and it happens. Look, it's a very short game. It's a lot of fun, but still it's a pity because I think we got a very decent position at one point. And if you took on Sicily as a queen, I don't think we would be in any risk of losing.
Now, given that that happened, your brilliant book, How Life Imitates Chess, is a book that I studied myself. One of the key qualities of a chess player is resiliency. How do you tell people bouncing back? You've had big losses yourself. I remember you were down 5-0 against Karpov, and you had to come back.
One-on-one. So it's when you are responsible for the outcome of the match or one single game, that's a very different ball game, a different story. And here is just you can do your absolute best, but eventually you are at the mercy of other players, and sometimes you could cause a disaster. So it's again, but I guess the whole idea of this exercise is just to create fun and just to show that even the best players can make mistakes. So I think that's important for people who are watching it now, that even the best are not immune from making mistakes, sometimes stupid mistakes, and I think that's makes the game of chess more human.
Let's talk about that, though. This is a team competition. It's very different from what's normal. A team competition in one game, not like different boards. How do you pick up your teammate when the teammate's down, make them feel that you're going to push ahead and play well for the rest of the competition?
Talking about the best professional players in the world, most of them in this room. So and again, they all understand. So just you made a mistake, and you may feel sorry, but the next game you have to come back.
There it is. Next game, you've got to come back. It's about bouncing back. And time to get into this game here. I didn't get a chance to see the last couple of moves, but it definitely looks very sharp indeed. White currently up a pawn in the position, but has conceded the 2 bishops. Looks like Black looking to get the pawn back. And was there $500 Mr. Monopoly just slipped some money on the board? What is going on here?
He said, please tell Hikaru to play better, and gave him $500.
Is that allowed? I don't think that's in the FIDE rule book. What's going on? You're bribing players?
Well, it's not me, it's him. I'm just passing on.
But you're the arbiter. Is this allowed?
It's not helping him play the game, so I don't think. Well, you can ask Hikaru afterwards whether he would have played anything different if he didn't get the 500.
But hold on, Hikaru is on his team, so how are you bribing your own player? Like, how does that work?
He told me to give the money to Hikaru, so that who am I to tell no to Mr. Monopoly?
Okay, so there's some shenanigans going on here right now.
If he wanted to give it to Levon, I could have understood that. But now maybe Hikaru could give it to Levon, and I will look away, and Brian will look away, and.
Okay, there's some monopoly rules going on here. Fabi, how are you feeling about this money being put blatantly on the table to bribe players?
Where's the arbiter?
Where's the arbiter? You've had a few words to say about arbiter. What is more money being put on the other side? This place is going? Levon, how are you feeling? You just money being handed to you.
I think it's inspirational, you know, that Mr. Monopoly is trying to, you know, support the players. Probably he doesn't realize this is Monopoly money.
All right. Well, I guess we're playing with Monopoly rules today. That's the first I've seen something like this happen in a game, and they're back to serious business here. But we got Monopoly money on the table. That is strange, at least, to say. Let's get serious. The position itself, you've got black as a pawn sitting on c6. I'm sure that's not fun in games for you.
It's just too much talent for me. I can't dream of such moves like c6. But we're in some danger, but we'll get out of it. I'm very certain of that.
All right, here comes Wesley So and Sam Shankland. A handshake in the middle of a game, kind of interesting. But also, Sam had a difficult time last game. I'm sure he wants to bounce back for his team in this game, so he's going to give some consideration in this moment here. Time is on black side at the moment, but again, there's a bishop on h6. There's that pawn sitting on the c6 square. It's not quite going anywhere just yet, and black does have the two bishops, so we'll see whether or not that's going to be enough compensation. And I'm still trying to deal with this Monopoly. I got to see how much money this is right here. Let's take a look. Oh, man, there's a couple of 500s under here. I think I'm going to take it myself. Oh, yeah. If Rex wants to give Monopoly money, I will definitely want to take that one. But, okay, I think just because there's kids watching, Mr. Monopoly, you got to be careful giving away that kind of money. Now, let's just hold it here. And
surprised me. In Monopoly, you can buy a river for $100. You can buy like an entire city block for $150. I was just very surprised. I haven't played in a long time.
Man, in the old days, this was some serious money. $100 could get you places. Now, $100.
No rivers for $100.
There's no rivers. All right, if you want to get this very cool game, it is available at Q Boutique. So you definitely can order it, go online to Q Boutique, and you'll be able to get your own special Monopoly board with the Chess St. Louis, the St. Louis Chess Club, that is. A whole square. Is it the World Chess Hall of Fame or it's the Hall of Fame? The Hall of Fame on the board itself. That's got to be cool for us chess fans and exciting. You see that on the screen right now. I'm sure the players are going to play this later. Wesley says he was beating you, Fabi. How you feel about that? He was talking trash in Monopoly.
He wasn't beating me. He was just buying everything he could see.
One more move.
He said otherwise, but he's excited. And now we have what is an exciting position. Sam now down to 117 with one move to go. And this position extremely sharp. Garry about to come up again. Garry, you look like you're not happy again. Well, it's your turn. We'll let Garry go in there. And it is Ray Robson against Kasparov. And Levon, you think it's just fine for black?
Well, I mean, it's either fine or we're losing, so one of two. But I'm the optimist, so we're fine.
All right, way to look at life. Good way to look at it. At the moment now, Ray Robson trying to figure out exactly what to do. He's reaching for the bishop, and he's captured and played rook d7. And Kasparov deep in thought.
This is okay.
Under a minute, though. This is a big moment in the game. 143 to only 52 seconds. And a little bit of pressure, but the Team Rex over here, the GM seem to feel like this is fine for their side. Now down to 38 seconds. This is getting critical, folks. This is getting quite critical as Kasparov is trying to figure out exactly what the right move is in this position. And he has captured with the queen, captured again, and played f6. And a nod of approval.
Yes. This is very good.
I played it for
This is a draw.
All right, well, Team Rex is very confident that Kasparov has found the way out of the danger, and now the Black King will be bursting into the action. The D7 pawn is under attack, and it is now White who has to figure out how to get something. And Rook C8 played, Bishop A5, and that's why A4 was played, Sam.
Yeah, that was what I had in mind with A4, so I don't know if it was best, but it held together. So, yeah.
Very good job, well calculated, and now it looks as though Black is safe. Black seems to have survived that last sequence. A very deep move, A4 by Sam, with incredible calculation, as you saw here. And now it is up to Sam Sevian, who has now played a very nice move. And now they're repeating moves, at least for the moment. Bishop cannot capture, but it looks as though they're still safe. Very precise variation, and now it looks like some real joy on this team right here. And Rook C5 played. One more move. And Mr. Monopoly in front of Fabiano. Now Bishop back to B6. And now this is a critical moment, hugely critical moment in the game. Who makes the decisions here? What to do next? Rook back down to C8, and here we have and Rex has dropped a whole bishop. Mr. Monopoly has won a piece. And now the pawn drops in 18 seconds for Black, 28 seconds. And these next few moves will be critical before the GM sit down. There is some play for Black, but it is a piece. And Rook to D6, Bishop to C7 played. And now a very dangerous pin. A fantastic move by Rex to pin the bishop. And now White's pieces are frozen on that side. The king coming up, and Rex with only 5 seconds left. And there they go. A comeback by Black once again. Rex playing some fantastic moves, and the material is currently even, and it looks as though this position will peter out quickly into a draw. What a dynamic sequence in the last few games, and Hikaru and Levon, I'm sure they'll find some basic way to make a draw here. That game was insane. A lot of mini tactics, a blunder, but followed by a mistake, and here they go, trading off more pawns, it looks like, about to happen. And both sides can sort of relax. Probably will be repeating shortly. King F5, Rook B5, Sam is back, and the players are feeling very happy as a draw has appeared. Garry, you seem thrilled.
Yeah, but I just had some bad feeling when Fabi left the pawn on D7. He would go back with Rook on C.
Feeling good about that one, Fabi?
We got off lucky. Yeah, maybe because I thought that it's either a repetition or White has to take the pawn. So I was ready for the draw. But then we didn't claim the repetition. That was a bit...
All right, that was definitely very exciting. Sam Sevian, I haven't spoken to you yet. What do you feel about what just happened in this game?
I mean, I was trying to play on fight for Mr. Monopoly, but okay, we'll take the draw. Pretty good match.
And Wesley, your thoughts about what just happened?
Well, it's great. It's very solid. Very pleased with the result.
All right. Well, the score is 1.5. 1.5. That last game was definitely pretty dynamic. We're now resetting now for game 4. A very close match. No one running away with it, and good play. Rex so far has shown his skills incredibly well to defend for one side and even to win in the other game. So this is exciting. Mr. Monopoly also showing some surprising skills as well. Who knew Mr. Monopoly would know how to play chess? Well, we're getting it right here. In game 4 about to begin. Team Rex will now have the white pieces. We expect Mr. Monopoly. Where is he? He's not on the board. There he is, sitting down. And he's brought out a card. He's handed over to Rex. It's a community chess card. It reads, go to jail, go directly to jail, do not pass go, do not collect your Monopoly 200. Rex, how do you feel about him passing you a card like that before the game starts?
I guess I'll just have to punish him.
Say that again.
I have to punish him.
That's it. He's going Rex. Rex. Wait, the arbiter is pulling out a card for Rex. A get out of jail free card. Okay. Well, there's always a counter in Monopoly as we see the get out of jail free card there. Awesome. All right. The arbiter steps in, Iron steps in to equalize matters there. All right, now we get a different opening. They're all over the place with their openings, and a Berlin on the board, and now, ooh, a sharp bishop c5, and the game gets saucy immediately, and rook to e1 played, and castles played as Levon and Wesley, so two Olympic teammates sit down now. They just won, Olympia teammate, just won silver in the recently concluded tournament in Budapest. You saw these two guys up close. How you feel about them now playing against each other?
Well, this is a very unfamiliar position to them. Another Berlin, by transposition, pretty much. I assume that they've had like maybe 20, 30 Berlin games, so not too surprising.
All right, well, ooh, a touch move called. He tried to retreat, and boom, a sacrifice on f2, a saucy move, of course. If he takes it, there's a nice little check on g4. Levon thinking about this in this moment right now is a pretty exciting position we see here. And king h1 played, and now Levon, you're out. That was your last move. And queen d3 played, preventing the move e4. It looks like Sam is not too thrilled with the position that's in front of him. Levon, were you surprised by bishop f2?
Well, he tricked me, you know. I forgot that I'm playing against Wesley, and I thought, oh, who's this idiot? And then, yeah. But it's equal, I think. The position is equal.
Who is this idiot? Wesley, you know, he said he forgot he was playing against you, and he said, who is this idiot? And then it turns out that you tricked him.
Yeah, yeah. That's you learn from Levon. You learn some new tricks from Levon. Learned a lot from him in the Olympiad.
Yeah, he's Mr. Trickster, right? He had some terrible positions in the Olympia that he managed to come back from.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, especially the first game in the Olympiad, like that really woke him up. And after that, I started playing like a machine. So.
Great result. You see, even though they're playing on two different sides, they still are great teammates. And Mr. Monopoly, we should know, is here. It's not just because. It's because there is a new St. Louis themed Monopoly board. And the World Chess Hall of Fame is a square on that board. And that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool, Mr. Monopoly, here to play some chess. And you can get this chess board, this Monopoly board, at Q Boutique. Check it out at Q Boutique. And you've got to get it. All the players here have one, by the way. I'm going to get mine for sure. That is special that chess is honored in such a way, that St. Louis is honored in such a way, and the World Chess Hall of Fame is being honored. So we're celebrating that right now. And in the meantime, we've got a dynamic position in front of us. It is pretty interesting. Two bishops for black, but some concession with the pawn structure for sure. And next few moves will be critical. Let's get this team. Grigoriy, how you feeling? The match is 1.5, 1.5. You're liking what you see so far from your teammate?
Yeah, I mean, the trend has been very good for us. The last few games we've been in control. So I think we can keep up the momentum. And yeah, this game is also looking very good. We'll see how it goes.
Now, how's your trash talking? You know, did you grow up with trash talking as part of your culture the way I did? Do you feel?
Not too much. I need to learn it more, but we'll see.
All right, who do you think is the biggest trash talker in chess you've ever met?
No, I haven't played in park chess in the United States, so I have no clue.
What about Blitz? I mean, we know Levon is famous for talking a lot of trash. You know any other players you play Blitz against who might say a few things, saucy things?
Not really. I mean, it's been mostly friendly stuff. So.
We got to get you to the park in Brooklyn, man. Definitely, definitely. You're missing out on culture right there. That's deep chess culture. And all right, the clock. We get back to the clock times. We see White Team Rex with 2:45, and now Knight G4 by Team Mr. Monopoly. This is the 4th game so far of the match. It's tied 1.5, 1.5. And I got to say, the quality has been excellent. You've seen some mistakes, but some really great moves getting played. And now this move, though, knight g4, and it does seem as though there is some danger in the position as this rook under attack on e5. Black's pieces are not playing around. I mean, rook g5 now hitting the knight. And we have some interesting threats, not clear, as Black seems to have taken over the initiative, but maybe White is fine, except that move f5. Okay, I'm double checking that now. That move f5 seems problematic indeed, as the rook on g5 has no way to get back home. This seems like a challenge. As Kasparov now deep in thought, as you can see, the legendary world champion trying to figure out exactly what to do. And he's played a4 completely on the other side of the board. And that move comes with a threat. You can guess at it, as that pawn has leapt up the board, and it definitely comes with a serious threat indeed that Black will find difficult to handle. Great resource by the world champion. We know him. I've been a fan of his for decades now, and he is a tremendous fighter. Don't think just because he's in retirement for all these years that he still doesn't have that wily tactical ability, that forceful desire, passion to win every single game. He's sitting there with the force of will that used to terrify opponents many years ago. It kept him atop the world of chess for 20 years. And now Sam Sevian dealing with what looked like a modest pawn move turned out to be a huge move on the board. And now some trouble. Black may have looked like there was some initiative, but this move has turned the tables as Black's clock is now also turned from a massive edge on time and very quickly sneaking down to under 2 minutes. Can you imagine a simple move like a4 seemingly getting the job done with that kind of effect? And now Black is worse on time, in fact, as Sam is still trying to figure out exactly what to do about this last move, a4. Tremendous resource by Kasparov, and it's come as a blow, in fact, a big blow, because Sam Sevian is still sitting there thinking about what to do next. And finally, he's played h6, attacking the rook. And Kasparov moving to g6, rook now down the board, and king f7, attacking the rook, and a big decision to be made here. Some calculation needs to be made. Very sharp position indeed. Kasparov ruminating on the next move. It's a very, very big decision. The dynamics of the trap of the bishop on the queen side, but also releasing. It looks like you could take on c6, but then there's potential bishop b7 that could erupt on the board. It is not at all easy here, as Kasparov is deep in calculation based on that last move. And there's really not much to say, folks. I'm just going to keep it a little bit quiet, as the next couple of moves are going to be very critical. Kasparov now down to only 1-11, and he's taking on c6, allowed bishop to b7. Now rook c4, a5, stopping the a4 push. The rook left a prison over on g5, and now looks like it's locked in a new prison on c4. Just a wild turn of events. Will that rook be able to sacrifice itself at the right moment? As now Kasparov is thinking about what to do. That rook seems like it will indeed be trapped. Bishop f4. And this is sharp, but looking very good now for White, possibly. Sam?
He's going to go take the rook. We'll stick a knight on c4. He got a bad bishop on b6. First rule of every exchange sacrifice is always how good are the rooks. Blacks are not very good. I actually think we might even be better.
All right, there you go. Great analysis from Sam Shankland, who, of course, you know, has been over 2,700, has written a couple of great books and some great chessable courses as well. You want to check out all that because he gives that kind of perspicacious analysis in all his materials. Famous author and chessable presenter. And now
it is Oparin versus Caruana. These two work together famously. They're definitely great friends, but this is not a friendly match right now. 35 seconds for White, and finally, this knight has been sitting on the back row for so long, has developed. And this is just simply a sharp position. Again, the rook on c4 has journeyed all around the board to find itself trapped on that square. But as Sam mentioned, an exchange sack may happen at any moment, and the clock times are huge here as they both, and now b4 pushed. And it is the moment now, and bishop d5, and there's that exchange sacrifice we talked about. Takes, and now there it is. Bishop back to a7. Up in exchange, one more move. These next moves are critical, and when will Mr. Monopoly and Rex come in?
We have Leinier and Hikaru first, and then Mr. No.
All right, there's going to be some serious decision-making needed as Mr. Monopoly and Rex will come in with very little time on the clock and still a very complex position in front of them. Will they be able to maneuver this properly? Will they have a simplified enough position to be able to play? As this is very challenging with only 23 seconds left on the clock and ticking down for White, 34 seconds for Black. Now only 13 seconds, 12 seconds, ticking down. Remember, you get a 2-second increment, but not a lot of time to play here. This was just a couple more moves, one more move before Rex and Mr. Monopoly have to sit down, and only 7. Make that 8 seconds as Rex sits down, and Mr. Monopoly comes in with 30 seconds on the clock. Rex has only 5 seconds, 4, 3, 2, and he has played his move with only 3 seconds left. You have to make another move. You have 4 more moves, Rex. 2 seconds, 1 second, and they are flagged. Team Rex has lost the game on time. Wow, the clock situation, handing over a bad clock situation to the players. It was only 5 seconds, Rex. That was very difficult to maneuver. Indeed, that gives the lead now to Team Mr. Monopoly. Rex, that was tough.
Thank you, sir. It was.
Indeed, a very complex position with only 5 seconds left.
You play what you get, you know?
Indeed, indeed. Yeah, that was difficult. All right, that was game 4. That was game 4, so we are now at 2.5 half. Team Rex had the lead, but now Team Mr. Monopoly is trending up. They are with the lead now at 2.5, 1.5. And I see that we have some pieces. Pieces of the Monopoly, new Monopoly board, the special Monopoly board right now spread out on a table. You can check that out because that will be the board that you get with those pieces. I haven't played Monopoly in a while, but now that I'm seeing this, I'm going to get a Monopoly board and get my family members over. My family is very competitive. Definitely got to play with them. We show off. We got to flex St. Louis and also the World Chess Hall of Fame for sure. So make sure you get that at Q Boutique. But now it's game on. Next game, it is a 1-point lead, 2.5, 1.5, 1-game lead for Team Mr. Monopoly as we start. Game 5 has now been played, and we're revisiting a variation that we saw earlier. Well, not quite, as Rex has played C5 as well. They've actually mixed up their opening strategies quite a bit in this match. We see that Team Rex and Team Mr. Monopoly have definitely been changing up their strategies quite a bit. They're showing a great variety in the opening, and now we see here the move C5 and Sam Shankland, the two Sams, we call them. You can't just say Sam when these two are playing. You got to say which one it is, and the two Sams are sitting down now, whipping out their opening moves quite quickly. And one more move to go, and knight C3. And we have absolute symmetry on the board, except White's actually a move down. White, we've arrived at this position with White being a move down, and they're copying each other's moves as now Garry Kasparov comes in and adjusts the pieces, and we have what may be one of the more tame positions that we've seen so far. Kasparov, you can see here with a shake of the head, is It is black with the extra tempo in what is an absolutely symmetrical position up and down.
In my opening file of colors reversed, if I'm not mistaken, white's much worse. So I could be wrong, but I think we're doing very well.
Right, there we go. Comment by Sam Shankland that extra tempo favors black, even though it is looking like a twin position. It looks exactly the same on both sides, except it's black with the tempo, playing the move bishop to g4 with a concrete threat potentially in the position. And now Oparin has to stop and wonder, as Garry is deep in thought over the very next move.
I don't want to say it too loud, but like rook c8 and just, I don't know what the hell white plays.
Right, Kasparov now deep in thought. Sam Shankland feels like this is just busted with very, and we see Garry. You can just see Garry deep in thought, looking off into the sky, as this position after knight back is very defensive, and rook c8 played on the board, and that comes with real threats. Real threats. I'm going to walk away from the players just a little bit, because the threat is definitely a rook takes on c3, and is going to blow up the position. Garry sees it, of course, but I'm not allowed to speak too close and suggest moves, but that's going to be a bomb that has to be dealt with, and exactly how you deal with it is probably going to have to compromise the position somehow. A move like f3 looks very ugly. It's not a move I'd like to have to play. With Oparin now, it's his problem. It's not my problem. He's got to figure out exactly what needs to be done here to stay in the game. And he's played h3 instead. And I'm not sure about that last move, as Garry, man, Garry is one of those kind of attackers. He shows it too. You can see his face. He's going through all kinds of expressions after that last move. He knows there's something deadly here. And he has sacrificed on e2, but winning a clear pawn in the position. And now it is Naka's turn coming in against Caruana. Black at the moment, up a pawn. And a small lead in development, but rook to e1. Nakamura doesn't seem like he is bothered too much about what has just transpired. And he's preparing to take the pawn on e7 and then develop his pieces. But not so fast. Rook down to c, and it is Fabi now sacrificing in exchange to keep his rook on the c2 square. And this position has definitely changed quite a bit. A lot of options here for black and white. In fact, this game is sharp. This one is a 3-result game, folks. Capture now on b7 by Nakamura, equalizing the pawn count and threatening a new exchange. He was able to take on c2, but now he's decided to take on c8 maybe. Well, taking on c8 is definitely a concrete threat
in the background
in the position, and Fabi has to figure out what to do next. As this match has gone on, it's gotten more and more serious. It was fun in games before, but it's gotten more and more serious as the players are seeing results pile up. Remember, 5.5 wins the match. And at the moment, it's 2.5, 1.5 for Mr. Monopoly, who looks very dapper and calm over here right next to me. He seems very confident with the lead as they put pressure on Team Rex in this match. Let's see if we can get a little bit of comment right now. Wesley, how are you feeling about the position right now?
Huh? Well, we're up a comfortable point. And if they decide that they want to get ambitious, then we'll be up by 2 points.
Oh, that's some serious confidence on that side. Let's see if we can get some commentary. Leinier, you guys are down a point in the match. This is a critical game. What do you think about the position?
Yeah, I think it's very critical. The next few moves will actually decide a lot, because it's very concrete. Yeah, we're down on exchange now, I see. But, okay, we have some compensation.
All right. Definitely a dangerous position that seemed to have flipped in the last couple of moves, and Fabi does not seem very excited by what's happening. Wesley is pumping his fist. Fabiano, you don't seem excited by what has transpired.
Terrible idea.
Which was the terrible idea?
Every move was a terrible idea.
All right. Trouble now for Team Rex, and an exchange has definitely flopped off the board. Say that again?
We put our trust in Rex. He's going to come and solve our problems.
All right, looking to Rex to once again save the game, as they are currently down a point in the match, down on the clock as well, down to 114. It's 2.5. 1.5 is the score. This is the fifth round, the fifth game, best of 10, and Black looking desperately for some kind of compensation for the exchange. Will they be able to do it? And remember, we got the wild card, or the Monopoly card, if you will, a chance card, a community chess card. We see if Rex and Mr. Monopoly will come in shortly. And who's next up?
Ray and Levon.
Ray and Levon are up next. So still another 5.5 moves to be played by the Grandmasters before Rex and Mr. Monopoly come in. And now King back. And we see what looks a small repetition there. Being Rex, there was a claim of a 3-4 repetition, but it looks like it was not officially. Rex and Mr. Monopoly with a full 2-minute lead on the clock, but still in a very complex position. 5 moves now that could decide the entire game. 20 seconds only left for Rex, but Mr. Monopoly trying to be careful as he is up an exchange and trying to figure out exactly what needs to be done here. An A4 on the board. Pass pawns will travel. That pawn is going. And Rex now with only 13 seconds on the clock, and he's played rook to B3. With only 12 seconds left, 150 for white. Mr. Monopoly, again, trying to be very careful here so he can pass the buck on to the Grandmasters. And Rex with only 10 seconds left. Time ticking down. And 8 seconds. Precious seconds. Will Rex be able to make the next few moves as Mr. Monopoly attacks the bishop? 5 seconds only. And bishop, 4 seconds left on the clock. Rex is going to have to make his next 2 moves quite quickly. 3 seconds. And again, 4 seconds left. Rex gets 1 more move to make before he is replaced, and it's only 4 seconds left. Mr. Monopoly just needs to make 1 move as well, and he will be able to get up. Crucial, crucial moment in the game. And rook over, 3 seconds, 2, 1, and he has flagged again. Oh, unfortunately, he is flagged, and once again, it was a difficult position. It looked lost anyway, but at least they should leave him some time on the clock. Levon, you didn't leave him a lot of time there.
No, the position was so lost that it didn't really matter. So we put our trust in Fabi, and he delivered for the opposite team.
Fabi, that did not really go very well, those last few moves you made.
Not too well.
When he played bishop takes b7.
Yeah, there's bishop b2.
Bishop takes b2, rook d8.
Yeah.
just realized.
All right, we're going to see an instant replay of the flag. That really cost them that game. Well, you know what, to tell you the truth, we're seeing the flag, but it wasn't Rex's fault. If you're playing with an amateur, it's very important to recognize you are playing with an amateur. You got to give them some time on the clock to maneuver in those difficult waters, and they're not leaving Rex with a lot of time in what is clearly a very difficult position, very complex position. And right now, it's a tough score. It's a big road to catch up. 2 points now. 3.5 for Team Mr. Monopoly. Only 1.5 points for Team Rex. They've got a comeback to make. Remember, 5.5 wins. 2 more points, and this is over. So they've got to figure out exactly what to do. And Mr. Monopoly's here because we have a new chess set, a St. Louis, not a chess set, a Monopoly set. I keep saying chess, but it's Monopoly. St. Louis themed Monopoly. You can get it at Q Boutique. There is a square on a Monopoly board? What? With the World Chess Hall of Fame? What? You better get it. I know I'm getting mine. Get one of those as they are available in Q Boutique. You can look it up. Make sure you get yours because those might sell out real fast. You don't want that to happen. All right, we are now set for Game 6, the second half of the match set to begin. Will Team Rex be able to get some kind of comeback? They started off strong. They won the first game. They haven't won since. And Game 6 is underway. You can't come back 2 games at a time, 3 games at a time, 4 games at a time. You got to come back 1 game at a time. It's very important to just win the next game. That's how champions think. And so right now we have a position on the board as Rex has played his 5th move, and Kasparov is now replacing him. How intimidating it must be to know that you're beginning a match with Kasparov following behind you and what he might think about your moves. That's got to be a lot of pressure indeed. Not easy to sit down, no matter who you are, knowing that there is a world champion over your shoulder judging every single one of your moves. All right, the action is now started. 5 moves in. Kasparov now deeply trying to figure out exactly how to give White some good chances in this position.
Wait, you know the day's not going well when Levon and Fabi are very quiet. You know something's wrong.
And when Wesley So starts trash talking, how do you guys feel about that?
Well, we're happy for Wesley. I think, his trash talking is definitely better than his playing.
Bobby?
I have nothing to add to that.
All right, well, he can talk right now as his team is up 2 points, and they have to make a big comeback as Kasparov now castles. This next game could be the whole thing. They give him another point, and it's going to be very hard to make any sort of comeback. Team Mr. Monopoly feeling like luck is on their side. all the rolls have been going their way, and they're doing quite well, looking confident. Matter of fact, where is the rest of your team, guys? I only see 3 of you over here.
Our team has jumped ship.
Okay, Sam Shankland has returned. Who are you missing? Oh, Leinier. Leinier is somewhere. They're trying to get some food, get some sustenance.
After the food, they have no chance. We just need some extra energy. Yeah, that's what we were lacking.
It's food.
Now we have the energy.
All right. Well, I still don't see Leinier. I don't know when he's up. When is he up?
He is. This one here is after Fabi.
Okay, so he's got to come after. Okay. Well, we hope he gets back quickly, or they're going to lose time on the clock. Meantime, Kasparov is deep in thought, trying to concoct something against Naka, and he's now traded on d4, dropped this knight back, and look, Hikaru seems quite confident in his position at the moment. And up next is going to be, again, Olympia teammates Wesley and Fabi. And Leinier is back. Leinier, were you following the moves, or what were you doing? You were away.
I just came. I went to recharge a little bit for the second half, which is going to be decisive, I think, and probably in our favor. But, yeah, I'm quite pleased with what I see.
All right, well, he's back and happy with the position. And here comes Fabi and Wesley. as Wesley seems hyper confident right now, very pleased with his position. And we will see how White handles the situation. Very critical to note, again, the clock times, as White is way down on the clock with only 2:46 against 4:35. Black being very confident. They've got to keep up the pace, as we've seen the clock decide 2 games so far. Right now, a lead in the match for Mr. Monopoly, 3.5 to 1.5. This could be one of those kind of games that decide it all. So it's a very critical moment in the match. Let's get some opinions. Ray, what do you feel right now? You guys are up 3.5, 1.5 in this position right here.
I feel pretty good, especially on the clock. We're up like 2 minutes already, which, I mean, I guess that's because I haven't played yet, but we'll see what happens when I come next. But yeah, so far feeling really good.
Good reason, as Ray just mentioned. Will they be able to come back in this very sharp position? And I also don't see Mr. Monopoly anywhere. Rex is totally into the game. Is Mr. Monopoly that confident that he can actually leave the room? Where is Mr. Monopoly? He's not even following the action. He's just so confident in his players right now that he's somewhere, but not here. Rex, though, is very focused on the board. He understands the crucial nature of this particular game. Again, we are it looks like people are getting food or trying to recharge as this match has entered the second half, and a definite wild position in front of us. Black has a massive pawn center, as you can see, and White's trying to chip away at the edges, and we're going to see some sharp moves, folks. This one is going to get wild very quickly. It already has those kind of qualities, as you can see, but the massive pawn center for Black suggests some possibility. And C4 whipped out, and again, almost 3-minute lead on the clock. Black hasn't slipped below 4 minutes yet, and White's down to 1:28. No one can blame Rex for what's transpiring here. His team is playing very slowly and leaving themselves with just no time to think. This got to be fixed. They're not handling the clock very well and putting themselves under pressure, not just Rex when he sits down, but also putting themselves under tremendous pressure as they're being outplayed right now by the Mr. Monopoly team, who are just, as you could tell, laughing, smiling. I see Wesley coming over once again.
We were thinking maybe 5+2 is a bit too fast for their team because their average age is a bit high.
Wow, he's calling you old men over here.
Yeah, well, I told you. I mean, his trash talking is much better than his playing. Yeah.
Well, right now he's doing both, or his team is anyway. But
the position doesn't warrant such talk, I have to say. Maybe they're playing fast, but that's about the only thing they have going for them.
All right, well, 1:11 left against 3:33. We see knight takes d5. Sacrifice happened, and at the moment, a piece edge for Black. However, that knight on d5 looks like it will drop off the board. What will be the ramifications as we see Ray now realizing that this last sacrifice was definitely quite intriguing? He's played bishop to c6 defending, but there's going to be an inevitable move here as the knight is hanging once again. Bishop takes is the threat, and there's a certain move coming. I won't say it, but it's coming quickly. That will seemingly win the piece back for White. But will White have enough, especially with the clock where it is at 1:12? Question comes in the next few seconds. What will Black do? And queen d7 played, and there's the move I was talking about, the move b5, as that deflects that bishop from defending the knight. So the knight will drop now. The question of, do you take with the bishop or do you take with the queen? And material is going to be even for a moment, and Levon finally decides to take with the bishop, trades rooks, and now here we are, 101 for White. Sam, of course, sees that his rook is under attack, and Oparin sits down. Do you snack on the pawn on b7? That looks quite dangerous. I think you're going to have to move that rook, and he's played rook a1, challenging the rook, keeping the pressure, but this might give some chances for black to get some play here. And bishop c3, a tricky move. Very interesting. Now if you take the bishop on d5, there's a back rank issue with rook to a8, and the players are nodding here as you see nods of approval from white as this spectacular bishop c3 consolidates that pawn on d2 and with a trick on the back row. So very good.
Convergent, but by what has been.
And now the capture did happen, and we see the tactics played. And now we have this position. Interesting play for sure. And now we have Rex with only 41 seconds on his clock, but still more time than he had before. But they are down 2:15 to 34 seconds. And Rex moves the rook to b8, bishop c6. Very good defensive move. And again, 30 seconds. Rex should have enough time to make a few moves. We'll see what he does with 26 seconds on his clock. He plays bishop to b4, very aggressive move. King over to f7. And he's got 3 moves to make in 20 seconds. He's giving check to the king. King has to go back, only move to g7. And now the rook back to b8. And now 2 minutes plus. And a big decision now to black, 2 minutes plus on the clock, only 17 seconds. Now b5 played, and only one more move remaining for Rex. And he has given check and left Garry with 12 seconds on the clock. That's plenty of time for Kasparov with now only 9 seconds on the clock. And Kasparov has played bishop to h6. The bishop has repositioned itself to the h6 square, and now Nakamura with the move e4. Garry with only 4 seconds on the clock, attacking the bishop, and Naka just ignoring the threat to his bishop and taking a pawn. And black for the moment is up a pawn. Garry shaking his head, only 6 seconds on his clock. He's feeling the pressure that Rex has felt all this time with no time. And now a couple of quick moves, and g4, and now Garry's up, and we've 11 seconds to 1. An extra move played by Kasparov. Who's next? It is Fabi's turn to come up. I'm not sure. They get extra time on the clock. Did they lose 10 seconds? What is happening? An additional minute has been awarded because Kasparov made a move quickly. So an additional minute has been awarded and only 11 seconds left to play a position right now, a pawn down. Can they hold this position? Looking very difficult. A win by black will give an enormous lead. So this is a big moment in the match.
He didn't press the clock. It's not a completely illegal move until he presses the clock. Then he put the king back on a legal square and then pressed the clock.
Let go of that.
He can't let go on an illegal square because it was in check. So as long as he corrects the illegal move before he presses the clock, it's not a penalty.
Okay.
All right. Levon trying any means he can to somehow get an edge. But at the moment, the moves seem frozen on the board. The moves are here, so keep playing. You will be informed. What is happening right now?
The guy is fixing DGT display, which is what we're all using to. Brian, was you counting the number of moves? 4. You 4? Yeah.
4 moves.
Yeah, that's 44. Go ahead.
Wait, no, it's 43. Oh, 40. Well, for you have to make it. It's on you. You're the blue.
All right, so the king is on f5. There's a move and a half more. You can't talk to your partner in the middle of a game. And Fabi's up. Wesley gets to make one more move. They have managed to survive, keep 16 seconds on the clock. White is desperate to save this game. Desperate. It is a pawn down, but it's opposite colored bishops and not easy to make progress here. White has to save this game. They lose this game, they go down 4.5, 1.5. They're busted. The match is over. And now bishop to c6 played, and now Leinier needing to make a move. He's played king up to f5, and now Ray coming in. The pressure is on some of the world's best players to save this game with the white pieces. Levon comes up next as Ray tries to figure out a plan for black. Opposite colored bishops, notorious for being close to being a draw. And now he's requesting a threefold, and he's claiming a threefold. He has claimed a threefold. Is it a threefold? After king to f4, the arbiters are now coming in to check to see whether or not it is a threefold. And they will be checking. And if it's not a threefold, black's going to get probably another 2 minutes, at least a minute. But he's rolling the dice, is Leinier. Leinier, are you sure this is a threefold?
Not at all. But I guess the penalty is not so severe, no?
That is them getting time on the clock?
Oh, 2 minutes for them, yeah. No, but as long as we don't lose on time, that's fine.
All right, a free roll right now by Leinier Dominguez, hoping that this is indeed a threefold repetition so they can save the game. Desperate times call for desperate measures, and that is what we're seeing right now. And they're coming, the arbiters are coming back. And it is not a threefold repetition, it seems. And how much extra time do they get? Another minute being awarded. This will be the second minute in the individual game. And once again, 9 seconds left against 2:27. I've never seen anything like it. Fabi, have you?
No. But I think logically, the second time we make an incorrect claim, we should get a minute. Just to have a balance. And then the third time, they'll get a minute. So that seems more fair to me. I mean, if they keep getting extra minutes, like, the game will never end.
All right, some interesting rule changes being offered by Fabiano Caruana. In the meantime, 9 seconds left for white, only. 1:55 on the clock. Black, though, at a loss of exactly how to win this position, and the pressure is on Ray Robson looking around how to make progress here, as he doesn't see exactly how, but there's only 9 seconds left. Can they hustle them? It's hustle mode time. But white has put up a staunch defensive setup. The bishop on e3, the pawn on d2, the rook behind the passed b pawn. And how easy it is? It definitely is not easy, as Ray is still studying the position, trying to figure out exactly what to do. And his time, despite that extra 2 minutes they've had this game, is also ticking down. And now we see the move bishop to a4 and bishop c6, trying to trap the rook on the other side. But now the rook is trying to sneak back around. And white has won back a pawn. White has won back the pawn. And it's all about that b pawn. Can it make any real progress? Bishop to c6 played, and Ray just kind of shrugging his shoulders, leaving the board. It can't be a 3-4 repetition for sure anytime soon if that pawn was taken off of f6. That much we know. But what has changed here that could give black any chances? And it's going to be the GMs for a while, by the way, we should point out. And now the move king d6, that has offered pawn. And look at Levon moving his king up the board. And again, we have that b pawn to think about. I mean, that b pawn is potentially quite dangerous of black, but Levon seems very confident that he has things under control, as despite the 2-minute lead on the clock, they're down to 36 seconds, but Levon with only 3 seconds when he made this last move. Now bishop to f4 check on the board. King e6, and 4 seconds, 3, and a check, and another check, and now 5 seconds. Oh, he made a move. He made a move. The game is over?
No, it's 56. You look at what he said.
It is a called, is it a forfeit?
That was the second.
Oh, a second forfeit in the game, and White has lost. Team Rex has lost again. I've never seen this happen in Ultimate Moves. They are putting themselves under so much pressure, and you can see the team just seems absolutely disgusted at what's going on right now. Guys, how do you explain this? You're losing all kinds of different ways. That's not really seemingly all about the clock.
I don't know if we're better after rook h7. Because black has rook c5, bishop b5.
But you're calling moves, but it's not been about the moves anymore. It's about clock, or it's about making extra moves, illegal moves.
We need to play faster. We need to change our strategy.
All right, it's as simple as that, folks. This Team Rex is collapsing under the time pressure. I've just not seen this happen before. I'm stunned. They're down 4.5 now to 1.5. One more victory for Team Monopoly, and it's over. It's 5.5. And it's some confidence. They need to talk, but that's very difficult. Well, in the meantime, Mr. Monopoly is dominating. I mean, whatever he's done, he's crushing it. And he's here because we have the St. Louis edition of Monopoly. That is right. St. Louis has been honored with its own edition of a Monopoly set. You can get it at Q Boutique. The World Chess Hall of Fame is actually one of the squares, I guess it's called. I'm going to call it a square on the Monopoly board. What an incredible thing for the World Chess Hall of Fame to be honored in such a way as a fixture in St. Louis. It's absolutely incredible. Get your board, get your Monopoly board. I'm getting mine to take home for sure. You're going to want this and be able to brag about it to your friends. All right, bragging rights is going right now to Mr. Monopoly with a massive lead. 4.5, 1.5 as we begin Game 7. This is unacceptable. I mean, this is a beatdown right now. Can Team Rex come back and make it a competition, as they need to move faster? They have allowed themselves to get into time pressure every single game that they have played, except the first game that they won. They won the first game. That's it. You wouldn't imagine that Team Rex had won the first game because they're down now huge, 4.5 to 1.5. They haven't won one game since. It's been 4-0, a pure domination so far. All right. Are you calling out my Yankees, Rex? All right, we're not going to talk about that right now. But the Yankees didn't lose 4 games in a row, though. I can tell you that much, Rex. Which has happened to you guys. There may still be time, but right now you're running out of time, as it seems they just have to come back. Now, I'm going to tell you, almost all of Team Rex is with me. Well, at least 3 players. Team Mr. Monopoly is everywhere. I see Levon here sitting with his, Nakamura, sitting with his wife, with his dad. They're relaxed, they're laughing, they're yucking it up. I don't even see 2 of their players. Well, I guess it's only one missing. Wesley, where's Wesley? Wesley's just away doing his thing. They're so relaxed and confident that they're going to win this match. It's just tragic. Okay, Wesley's come back. Wesley, you guys just seem way too relaxed. They're not putting you under any pressure.
Yeah, they don't need me. Well, I told them, right? If they want a draw, we'll give them a draw. They get too ambitious, we'll beat them.
You know Wesley's so trash talking. This is a bad day for the other team. They're not very happy as how they're handling the clock. In this game, at least, there is a lead on the clock for Team Rex. So I think they're finally warming up to the speed as a strategy. When you're playing this kind of time control, you can't get in any worse time.
This is the day I look forward to every year because it's the only day when you can ever beat Fabiano or Garry or Levon.
All at the same time?
Yeah. Even better.
even better. All right, well, I see there just seems to be frustration on one side. How they're going to coordinate as a team and come together. Fabi's walking around. Garry, you see.
We're just going to play the best move over and over and over again and win 5 games in a row, and we're just done. I mean, it's not that hard.
You actually don't need 5. You only need 4.
4 is good enough. Yeah, okay.
All right. Well, here we go. You can't win all the games at once. You can only do it one game at a time. Let's see what they can do this game as the players are trying to figure out, that is Team Rex, how are you going to put pressure on Team Mr. Monopoly? But again, I mean, look at how relaxed Wesley and Naka are. They're just yucking it up, no problems over here. There's high tension on this side as they could lose one game and they go down. But they're big on the clock now, taking that huge lead on the clock. It's a conscious effort on their team side. It's certainly a decision made to get a lead and keep that lead. Can they maintain that strategy, though? Because they've been very slow throughout. Very, very slow. This position looking perfectly fine after 13 moves. And also, they have to count properly. I mean, you guys have an accounting problem, Fabi, making extra moves.
We're not good at counting. We never went to school.
All right, now Sam Sevian realizing that he has to counter that strategy on the clock and make sure they keep a lead. And Bishop takes e5, played, and that Bishop out, and 50-second lead on the clock as Levon and Oparin sit down to try to figure out exactly what to do in this position here.
F4.
All right, Team Rex trying to get the handle on this position right now, and we see some interesting, a very interesting pawn formation for white, and black with that pawn on c4, the rook pressing down on the b2 pawn, but a fantastic bishop on c3. So still lots of play, very complex play ahead, and white has to stop and think. And we see this for the first time in a while, that it is white who is down. That is Team Monopoly, Mr. Monopoly, who is down at the moment. We see g4 on the board, a very sharp move. That's going to give some consideration. Can black continue to play quickly when such a move has been played, or is it time to maybe try to punish this move and get some chances? All right, you are concerned about the clock, Wesley, this time?
No, I'm just shocked. I'm not concerned because we're down on clock for the first time in ages.
Seems like a conscious strategy on their part to play quicker.
Oh, for this match, yeah. Well, better late than never.
All right, and we have f5 now on the board, and the game is super sharp, super sharp. And queen takes e3 check, and then bishop retreats, and this is a barn burner on the board now as Nakamura comes in, wondering what is happening. Black at the moment seems is up a pawn, but white's pawns are storming down the board in an attack, certainly an unclear position, and anything, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not sure exactly what's going on. Anything could happen on this board as Nakamura starts to study where the nature of the compensation is and what the best move should be. And a massive lead finally for black, but can they defend the storm that is brewing around that king side? If Team Monopoly wins this game, the match is done. I mean, there's pressure is on. You have to defend this wild position. You lose this game and it's over. Team Rex has to defend this position, and now they're defending.
It's a comeback time.
Don't call it a comeback. He said it's time. Levon feeling very confident in this moment as Nakamura studies the position, looking for a move.
We changed the strategy. That's it.
All right, a very confident Levon putting pressure on the opponent. It doesn't look that easy to me, folks, but Levon has said it. They've changed the strategy. He likes their chances. He thinks they're going to make the comeback. And now D4 played on the board, and that one has got the seal of approval from Levon with 1:20 left on Naka's clock. As the time ticks down, black at the moment up a pawn and showing some real fighting chances as takes, ignoring the bishop and taking on G6. This next couple of moves will be crucial as ever. There are quite a few moves to play, folks. I'm going to go silent mode right now, or at least whisper mode, because knight e5 is a move. Taking on g6 with the f-pawn is a move, and he's taken with the f-pawn indeed, which looked like a very logical move to play. Queen f7 check doesn't really win anything because the king can just go to h8, and there's nothing, no check on the diagonal. Nakamura now thinking, and they're under a minute. And here we go. This next sequence, and now bishop takes on d4, sacking a piece, sacking the bishop, but with only 2 minutes. Well, there's enough time to think about this right now. He can play knight takes d4, but queen f7 check is definitely coming. I'm going to tell you, I don't even see exactly what the follow-up is to knight takes d4. Queen f7, king moves. There's nothing to take on e7. Sam is thinking about this position right now, and now he's not happy at all. Now he's not happy. I got to get some reference. What's wrong with knight takes d4?
They want queen of 7, and then the rook comes to h3. And
the rook comes. Oh, the rook swings over to h3. Great point.
H5 at some point, but it looks, of course, very dangerous to be losing for us.
And it has occurred, and it has happened. And now Kasparov has to come in after that amazing idea by Naka, and now the rook will swing over into the game, and it looks like it's going to be over. That's the shot. What a square, and rook over, and what to play here but h5. There's nothing to do. That shot by Naka was brilliant. I'm going to tell you right now, seeing that rook h3 swing, and now it looks bad, and Rex and Mr. Monopoly will sit down next. Can Kasparov survive this? Looks like it will be difficult to pull off, as it looks like a straight mating attack now with only 16 seconds on the clock and one. All right, the question is, now he has to be careful. Rex, okay, only move, and now bishop c6. And now here's the big moment, as Garry needs to find a move that will keep the game going. And will Mr. Monopoly be able to finish this match off when it's his turn to move? A big challenge for Kasparov. It feels like it's over. Rook takes b2, and now it is Mr. Monopoly's move, and he's played queen f7 check. And now there's only one move to play. And what now will Mr. Monopoly? And he's repeated the position with a check. Rex says, and now there's a repetition going on. And a draw has miraculously occurred in a game that should have been mate for white. And somehow they survived to tell the tale another day, as Mr. Monopoly has given them a chance. Fabi, that was crazy that you guys managed to survive that one.
Yeah, not our day so far. But we're playing faster. At least we're playing faster.
All right, it's been ugly though, Levon.
Not the best of our shape as a team. I think we're missing some cohesion.
All right, well, the score is now 5-2. 5-2. A half a point, a draw is all they need, and it's over. That is Mr. Monopoly. The whole match will be over, 5-2. They're on the edge of a precipice. I can't imagine any kind of comeback in this situation, as Mr. Monopoly is dominating in a way that I have not seen in any of these Ultimate Moves matches. This is just a complete wipeout. I'm not sure if Mr. Monopoly himself is intimidating the other team. I gotta ask, this is insane, but let me, before I forget, Mr. Monopoly is here because they're celebrating the St. Louis edition of the Monopoly board and the new Monopoly game board, the St. Louis edition with the World Chess Hall of Fame as a square. And they have asked Mr. Monopoly to come and play some chess, which he has done, and done it creditably, now leading 5-2 against Team Rex. This has been a demolition so far. Team Rex, can they pull it off? That's the question right now. They have begun the 8th game in the match. This could be the last game if they manage to win. It is big trouble now for the Team Rex. We see that there's a lot of relaxation, but now it's time to get it done. The job has to get done right now, and we see that there's team spirit and camaraderie. All the players waiting. They know this is the time. We see Team Mr. Monopoly all standing together. And a little bit morose currently is Team Rex as they are being smashed to smithereens by the other team. All right, they're trying to play a little bit faster for sure, but it hasn't really helped them any. There's been just team dominance. We see Fabi's over there checking his phone. Garry's walking around. Where's Sam Shankland? Sam is here. Okay. All right, the whole team is here. This is it, folks. Every single game, it's sudden death for one side. They lose, it's finished. Over and done. So can they pull it off in this game? This was a long way to go. But so far, so good for Team Mr. Monopoly. Don't forget, tomorrow will be Ultimate Moves. It's not Ultimate Moves, excuse me, Chess 9LX. Today's Ultimate Moves. Tomorrow will be Chess 9LX, and it'll be a lot of fun. I will be doing commentary for the first time in 3 years right here in St. Louis. I'm happy to be back, to join the team. Not just Yasser, and I've never done commentary with Nazi Perkidze before. This will be a first for me, of course, the team of Silverback, and everyone here at the World Chess Hall of Fame and St. Louis Chess Club. So I'm happy to be back in St. Louis to do that. I'm trying to get some of the bugs out as I commentate today, because I haven't been doing any commentary for quite some time. But this has been a lot of fun, a good way, lighthearted way to get back on the horse. And knight, speaking of horses, the knight just moved. 2 knights just moved. Knight back to B8. Kind of a Breyer concept in the Ruy Lopez, repositioning that knight to go to D7 as a superior square in this setup, and also preparing potentially pushing the pawn on C7, and also opening up the line for the bishop sitting on the B7 square as it eyeballs the pawn on E4. And now knight to H4. This is one of those positions you can see in a world championship match. It's absolutely sharp, fascinating, complex type position. And that knight maneuver looking to try to get to the F5 square. And Nakamura bursting with D5. And now we've got massive complications. This is the kind of move, if it is successful, Black instantly equalizes. This is a move that Black aims for, and if he can get it, usually it's beautiful equality. So White has to somehow try to maintain something. Remember, a draw loses the match for Team Rex. Loses the match. They cannot draw. They must play for a win every single game. Now Naka has played knight takes on E4. Clearly the knight on H4 is under attack. And do you trade on E4 first, or do you trade on A7 first, or do you move the knight? The pawn on E5 is also under pressure. So both sides realizing the import of the next few moves. This is a critical, critical moment in the game, as it has definitely sharpened considerably after Naka's D5. It's a bold statement saying, I think I can equalize right here, right now, and you all will have nothing to play for and will lose the match with a draw. This is as quiet as I've seen it. And these players know that it's a critical moment. Meantime, Mr. Monopoly is just walking around like the happiest guy in the world. I mean, you know, this guy always has a smile on his face. I'm sure Mrs. Monopoly is quite happy to hang out with him. He's always feeling good about life. And right now, there's a lot to smile for being up 5-2 in this match. And just needing a simple draw to take care of his business. As now, knight f5 was indeed played. And we see Wesley deep in thought. He knows you don't want to give any chances to the other side when they're down. Just they're used to just destroying people. This is how these assassins are. When you're up in a match, don't let them breathe. Just crush them, because any chance you give could be a comeback. Kasparov has been in that position when he was down 0-5 to none other than Anatoly Karpov, and he managed to somehow right the ship back in 1985 and keep the match going. Now it's up to him to his team to somehow do something, pull a rabbit out of the hat and do the same. So now we see a moment of jocularity. What's going on, Levon?
Wesley played a beautiful move, so I'm very impressed, and I just wanted to congratulate him on being able to find such moves.
I know the hint of sarcasm in the statement.
I don't know. We're yet to find out.
All right. Well, that Bishop C8 is definitely one of those type of cryptic moves, and Sam is trying to figure out how to punish it. But the time situation, once again, ticking down quite dramatically. And Sam has sacrificed a knight on G7, a massive explosion on the G7 square. And let's see how he proves it as he's captured now on E4. And it looks as though there will be an attack brewing on the king side. His queen has appeared on H5, and H6 is hanging at the moment along with the pawn on E4. There is definitely some chances here. Maybe the sharpest and most explosive game we have seen so far. It's a queen on H5, and I think that white is thrilled by this development in the game. Rook to E6. Sam has one more move to play, and you can see that they are exuberant. Team Rex can't believe they have this position sharp. Is it winning, though? Is it enough compensation in this position as he has sacrificed a piece? Black has no development on the queen side. There should be some compensation, but is it enough? And certainly Sam wants to play his most accurate move now. It's his last move for quite some time. And he has taken on E4, threatening the rook in the corner. And this looks fantastic. And Kasparov now, one of the greatest attackers in the history of the game, smiling, relishing the moment, laughing now to have such a position on the board. And he can't believe the last move. He just saw knight to C6, and the beast of Baku now staring the position down, looking for the right way to eviscerate his opponent. Thinking carefully, you can expect him to come up with a monster move, but he only has 1 minute and 21 seconds to play his next move. How to continue here and not give any chances. And he's brought a rook. That's how you play chess. Bring all the pieces to the party. He's brought his rook into the game. Queen to E7, and now F4, maintaining the pawn on E5, and the pawns are rolling. That F pawn could go F5 and then F6 at any moment, so that's going to be an issue. Black has so much to deal with this lack of development, bad coordination of the pieces. This is looking terrible. I don't even know why they're laughing over there, because it looks awful. I mean, it looks like they're about to get smashed to smithereens, and yet somehow, I guess because they have a 5-2 lead, they can afford to feel good about themselves in this particular moment. But a great moment here for Sam's Shankland. Sam, that was an amazing sacrifice.
Yeah, I mean, there were a lot of like simple moves to be like pawn up or something, but I just felt like you provoked me that much. I really need to just bring the heat, and now, well, I've given Garry a fun position to play. I suspect White's totally winning, but it's objectively, but there's still like accuracy needed. We are a piece down without like a direct win, but felt good to sack a piece like that.
Indeed, you sacrifice like Garry himself. Must be nice to have somebody come in as the closing pitcher, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not that great an attacker in general. It's not what I do best, but so yeah, it feels easier to sacrifice pieces when I know someone else will have to deal with the trouble later.
Nothing like having Garry Kasparov be the one to deal with that trouble. And now Garry with 2 more moves to play. He's traded off bishops on A7. Again, it's not over, but here comes the rook. Rook to D3. That rook is going to swing over to G3. We saw rook do damage in the last game. Rook A3 to H3. Well, now another rook is coming up and over. Now a sacrifice, a counter sack on the E5 square by Ray to relieve some of the pressure. This may have come as a surprise to Garry, as he now has only 54 seconds left. Did this move go missed by Kasparov, and he has taken it. And it is now Fabi's turn to go in there, and rook check, rook g5, and the position seems to have concretized somewhat. I don't really see the breakthrough. It looks like it's actually becoming more simplified. At the moment, however, there's still a weak king for black to deal with. So no trade of queens, and they're just going to have to deal with a lack of coordination and a weak king. Bishop back to c8. And the time is a factor now. 27 seconds for white, 34 for black. Who comes up next?
Mr. Monopoly and Rex.
And Mr. Monopoly and Rex are going to come in at the most crucial time in the game with only one more move to go. Material is dead even, and rook to e8. Fabi's up, Rex is in, and bishop to f5, and Mr. Monopoly is in it. And this is it. This is for all the marbles. A loss by white loses the match. Can Rex figure out what to do here? Rex has only 16 seconds left on the clock, and he's played the move queen to e2, rook to d7 played, 15 seconds. Time ticking down, and now queen to e5 with check. f6 played, 11 seconds, 10 ticking down. Rook e7 with check. King up, 8 seconds left. Bishop f7 with check. The king has to go back. One more move for Rex with 6 seconds left. Oh my, he's played a move, and they are back in business. And that's it. They have won. They have made a comeback and won that game. At least one win to feel good about life. Bishop e7 check. It looked like a small mistake maybe, but no, it doesn't matter. They won. It won them the match. It won them the game at least, and they survived. Live to survive one more day. That was crazy, but is it a real comeback? Is it a real comeback? You think so, Levon?
You will see. You will see. Watch us.
All right, 5-3 now. They're still alive. They're still alive with 2 games. Wait, what is it's a 10-game. It's a 10-game match. Let me get my rules straight. It's a 10-game match. 2 games left. That could have been a deal closer. 2 games that could have been a deal closer. The last game when Mr. Monopoly should have won. This game, they could have drawn the game. Instead, it is now 5-3. 2 back-to-back draws. At least they stopped the bleeding, but can they win? Now they have to win. They cannot afford to draw. What am I talking about, 2 back-to-back draws? They just won the last game. I'm all over the place, folks. They actually won the game just now, so it is 5-3. Let's talk about that board game once again. This has been a crazy match. We're talking about this incredible board game, the St. Louis edition, Sam, if you will. We got the St. Louis edition of Monopoly. They got all kinds of squares on the board, but definitely the World Chess Hall of Fame is one of those. Make sure you check out Q Boutique so you can get your very edition of Monopoly St. Louis style. Absolutely incredible with the World Chess Hall of Fame sitting right there. What a real pleasure to show just how much of an institution the World Chess Hall of Fame and the St. Louis Chess Club are here in the city of St. Louis. They also, by the way, have a giant placard or poster in the airport. You come in at St. Louis International, I think they call it Lambert. Well, anyway, you come in and you see a giant poster of the Big King, the world's tallest chess piece. Well, the score is 5-3. Survival is the name of the game. You could put a Beyonce song up in here right now. They have to survive. It's 5-3. Can Team Rex pull another rabbit out of a hat and win this next game? That is the question. They have won one. Levon is confident there'll be a comeback. Here we go yet again as Rex and Mr. Monopoly start off the show with this opening. I've seen this position before, and they came with their 5 moves. And here we go. And Levon and Wesley, I've seen a lot of laughter from Mr. Monopoly's team. I mean, they're just high They know, though, a draw gets the job done. Should they play for a draw or should they play for victory? What do you think, Garry? You got to draw a game. Do you play quiet or do you play aggressive?
It's not again. It's not a decision of one person. That's why it's very difficult to. Oh, Levon is playing very. Why not A6, Levon? Just more. Again, anything can happen. It wasn't any move, so that's why it doesn't make sense to say I'm playing for draw. I'm playing for win.
Team chess is tough.
Team chess is very tough.
All right, here we go. And Wesley has played his last move, and it's time for him to get up. And this is it. A win with black, necessary for Team Rex to stay in the match. Levon is playing some enterprising chess, and they're trying to stay ahead on the clock as well. They've got to win. They've got to win. That's it. That's it. Don't win, you lose. You lose the match itself. The draw is not going to get it done here. So black has to somehow concoct a win, and white has to somehow make sure that simply does not happen. An H3 attacking the knight, knight H6. And black clearly intends to play the move F5 and get the pawns rolling up the board. Typical strategy in these kind of positions. And now A3, you have to pay attention to your knight because B4 would trap the piece. So now B6, giving the square B7 to the knight, so they'll be able to go back. So this is one of those murky positions you want to have, and B4 has been played. There goes that knight dropping back. This is the murky positions you want to have with the black pieces needing to win. A lot could happen in the rest of this game. And now the move knight to E4 on the board, almost inviting the move F5, but you have to be careful about the G5 square. If you are black, a nice little lead on the clock to be sure in this position. Get the feeling F5 played. That is absolutely aggressive, not caring at all about a knight possibly jumping into the G5 square. That is hyper aggressive by Sam. No question about it. He's showing no fear playing this move, but is it good? I see Garry shaking his head and not too happy in the position right now for what has just happened. Is it good or not? But Ray is deeply pondering the moment. And knight G5, that's got to be the question. Why did he accept this? A nice bit E4 and allowed knight E6. And now it's Garry's turn, famously one of the greatest King's Indian players of all time. But he is simply not happy at all with what has transpired here as a knight has landed on E6. He does not want to give up his light square bishop. He'd rather give up an exchange, I'm going to tell you right now. But this does not look good. That F5 move seemed hyper aggressive to me. And that, I mean, frankly, he might not even take the rook. If queen E7, he might even take the bishop on G7. Like bishop E6 feels unacceptable to give up all those light squares. But queen E7, it is very likely he will not take the rook on F8. He'll instead take the bishop on G7. That's also possible. Black has a lot of things to deal with here. And taking on E6 seems like the worst thing to have to do it. Kasparov looking around for an opportunity. The time is ticked down now to 3:12 under White's time. He knows the danger he's in. He's looking for something, some kind of sacrifice maybe, but it's not there. It's just not there. That's making it obvious. The knight is a beast. The octopus knight on E6. And if you take it, the knight goes to D5? The knight on B7. And he has played queen E7 and quickly capture and knight B5 and not looking fantastic. What do you think about your chances?
Yeah, it's okay.
We're space, you know, we're regaining the space.
Are you surprised he took on F8 and not on G7?
Yes, actually I am. I would take on G7.
That's what I was thinking, but that's limited thinking on my part. I thought maybe, but it looked like the G7 bishop was very valuable.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, I still see some ideas. The space. That's what black has, and now to move a6, knight c3, and bishop takes knight will be met by bishop takes on h6. So that knight on h6 probably needs to move out of there. Probably knight f7 is about time. It's been a while that it's been on that square.
Queen a4. I thought I expected something to happen, but queen a4 I didn't expect.
The queen seems misplaced, knight f7 now, and the queen has now dropped back, and that knight, those last couple of moves have helped black. Black is ready to now put a knight from the terrible h6 square and potentially park itself on a fantastic e5 square, and there it goes, knight e5. There is a lot of work ahead still for white, but now this move, knight to a4, hitting the b6 pawn. Man, I hate having to defend pawns like that one, but you can't just give stuff away, especially that it's going to be a fork to your pieces, and you cannot give up your light squared bishop. But this pressure on the queen side could become problematic quite quickly, as b6 has been weakened after the move a6, and this little nuance might change matters, and Fabi has decided to capture on c4 to change the nature of the position. He could not play defensively. Queen d8 was not in the cards. By taking on c4, he's going to play b5 and rid himself of that annoying knight on a4. So this is it. This is it. Sharp moment in the game, and pawn takes on c5, and now b5 and c6. That last couple of moves, extremely sharp play as they go back and forth, ignoring threats to pieces. The knight now coming back to d8. That knight is headed to f7 into e5, possibly. But there's a pawn sitting on c6, folks. Can black hold this position? And rook to b4. And this is, again, a critical moment. Can the knight and e3? Okay, that one definitely came as a surprise to me. A bit of a spicy move that opened up the game.
Just now, the knight on b7 is now. Yeah, that was even better. Knight c3, queen e5.
All right, seems like Yasser and Levon felt there was a missed opportunity for Fabi. But now Hikaru can nail it down, and we have the same problem again, the bad time situation. So the knight goes to b6, and this is quite problematic. That's not a bishop you really wanted to give up, but up next will be Mr. Monopoly and Rex. So big decisions will have to be made, and there goes that bishop, and takes, captures, and one more move, and now the moment of truth. Mr. Monopoly and Rex will have to manage what is a sharp position. Black is definitely worse from what I can assess. The knight cannot get to e5, and they're worse on the clock as well, but it's still a sharp position. e3 played, and Rex has now attacked the pawn on e3, and it has been defended. It's not clear exactly what Black should be doing. And Rex just played an illegal move. Rex has just played his knight from f7 to d7. That is an illegal move. And that's going to give a minute. That's going to give a whole minute to Mr. Monopoly at a really crucial point in the game. That is not something you wanted to see, and now the odds of this comeback have just torpedoed. And that's that. One more illegal move, and he's gone. So Rex in deep trouble. Team Rex in deep trouble. He has touched the knight. He will have to move it. And this time to a legal square. And we are just resetting the clock so that they get the extra time on the clock. And with what looks like the better position, and he's played now the move knight to d8. Will that confuse Mr. Monopoly? If only that knight had a better square to go to, but right now it's just in a bad situation as Black is totally in trouble here. There is a few moves to make. See what White does now as Mr. Monopoly is playing very smart, cautious chess. Just bring the rook back, defend everything, and get ready to pass the ball to the other players. And even though he could have thought of a move like e4, he's just not going to do it. Rex now just repeating moves. And a draw would win, but Mr. Monopoly's played queen to c2. And once again, just playing very solidly. One more move to make for White, 2 moves to make for Rex. He has 29 seconds, but it's not going to matter as Black just doesn't have a plan. Black just has 0 to do. Queen c7, and each player has 1 move. Mr. Monopoly knows not to spoil this position. And that will be that. There'll be 0 chance in this position. And the clock bad for Black. King h1, a non-spoiling move, a high five by Team Mr. Monopoly. No blunder made. They're feeling good. Wesley can't believe his luck as he's going to be able to trash talk his teammates forever. Now bishop d4, king back, no tricks. The bishop has repositioned itself. And somehow the bishop has found a better square. They're now daring them to win the game. Very serious face. Levon has a serious face. He's definitely looking for a way to improve, and Wesley has not done anything. Instead, he's just given some free moves to Black. I'm not sure why he did that. Instead of just going forth with e4, and now this looks really bad, actually. Even with all that happened, got to take on e4, and to have to trade off rooks seems like a bad deal. And Gary's all the way over behind the Monopoly boards, saying that doesn't really want to come back to have to resign out this position. Things are looking horrible right now for Black, and Ray is up. Sam might want to save Garry the disgrace of having to resign such a position, but he's going to make a move instead, and he is flagged, actually. He is flagged. The match is over as Mr. Monopoly has defeated Team Rex 6-3 in the match. Mr. Monopoly, oh, throwing money everywhere. What a match. Rex, what do you have to say as Mr. Monopoly is just bragging all over the place, throwing money in the World Chess Hall of Fame?
It shows crude behavior. What else can you say?
Who's going to take care of all this money?
Oh, he's got to clean it up. He caused the mess.
All right, Mr. Monopoly, you feeling good about the match so far? Indeed. Did you think you were going to win the whole time? Another yes. And I mean, did they have a chance? That's it, folks. How are you feeling? You defeated your Olympic teammates. You get a chance to trash talk forever.
Yeah.
And Garry Kasparov as well.
Yeah, I want to be a gentleman when I win, so I won't say anything.
Okay, I'm not going to accuse Nakamura of being a gentleman. Naka, how you feel about winning this match?
Yeah, we were just better in pretty much every game. The better players proved why they're the best in this match, and maybe next time they can find some better people playing their team.
Now that's what we were looking for, some frank talk. Well, that ends the match 6-3 in Mr. Monopoly's favor over Team Rex. We'll see you tomorrow. Chess 9LX begins with these same players, 1 o'clock Central Time. We'll have a lot of fun as The pieces will be shuffled on the back row as some of the greatest players in the United States and one, well, the greatest players in the United States, and one, Garry Kasparov, will entertain us, thrill us, regale us with their abilities as they try to decipher these insane positions that will occur. We want to thank Monopoly, Mr. Monopoly, and Monopoly for including the World Chess Hall of Fame as a square on a Monopoly board. We've had a ton of fun, everybody. See you tomorrow. Bye from St. Louis.
This has been a presentation of the St. Louis Chess Club. Any reproduction or distribution of this content without the express written consent of the St. Louis Chess Club is prohibited.